getting up and running on social media. You can start getting clients really consistently on social media and also set yourself up for the fall. That's why I really like giving this masterclass right now, the Summer Social Media Sales Surge. Now, we're also live streaming out there on social media, so I want to make sure to say a big hello to everybody and hello to everyone in the room. I see a couple of familiar faces. I've been doing this for 20 years, been helping people find right fit clients on social media, getting the visibility with the consistency that they need on social media because ultimately social media is your biggest sales tool. It doesn't matter what other sales initiatives that you are doing. When you're running high quality organic social media, it supports all of those. Not only that, you can find really high quality clients on social media. So for those, hey everybody, nice to see you guys. For those who are new, okay, this is a warning, spoiler alert. If you haven't attended one of my master classes before, I just kind of want to give you the flavor here. What we're sharing with you is not secrets on how to go viral or what the latest cat meme is that's going to bring in 100,000 followers. Really, what we teach here is no fluff. This webinar is filled with really strategic ways of how to really approach social media. I feel like there's a lot of noise out there about trends and likes and random postings, and that is certainly not what this masterclass is about. You're in the right room, and I saw several of you here, and glad to see you guys here. You're in the right room if you're a service-based business owner. That means you're a consultant, or you're a thought leader, or you're an expert. We serve a lot of insurance agents and real estate agents, those service providers and agency owners who are already in demand, but you're trying to keep up with content. You know, content is going to support your goals of generating those high quality relationships on social media. So that's who this masterclass is for. It's really great to see you guys. If you're getting clients, and maybe you already have some clients coming in, you have a lot of clients coming in, you have no problem with that, and you've posted consistently, or maybe you've hired help. You've hired the youngest person in your office. Maybe you've hired some random VA to post, but yet you're still in there rewriting the captions. You're still in there trying to figure out why this doesn't work, and you're not seeing the kind of sales that your content should be generating. That's what this masterclass is going to solve, because the truth is the problem isn't your effort. The problem isn't, oh, I'm just going to try to post even more and more social media posts and hope and pray that something sticks. What is really holding you back from social media success and social media really helping you generate and build your business is a lack of strategy, which we're going to solve today for sure, and a lack of clarity. And so over the next 40 minutes or so, we're going to solve that together. Now, let me share my screen here. Here we go. Showing up on social media. If you're showing up but you're not getting any clients, is exactly who this masterclass is for. And it typically, there's a couple of reasons why your content isn't landing. So the first, of course, is that it is way too generic. You're out there, you're speaking high level. People don't really know, like they're not seeing themselves in it. And this is a very natural thing to do because you probably been to 100 niching classes and you've been told to niche down, but it's human nature that you don't want to niche down because you don't want to exclude anyone. You want to be able to help anybody that comes to you. But when it comes to posting on social media, being too generic is certainly keeping you too small. That is one of the reasons that your content isn't landing. Now, the second reason why your content isn't landing is because it's too self-focused. And this is definitely understandable because we are in the day and age of social media influencers. You have Kim Kardashian, that's all she ever even posts about. And so people end up getting really confused with, what do I post that is about me versus what do I post about my customers? And you get really confused because the other thing that happens is that you'll post on social media and you'll post business content, And, and we're going to cover this in this class, but certainly business content doesn't perform as well as personal content. And so then you'll post a picture of your dog or you'll post a picture of your kids, and then all of a sudden you get all these likes. And so a lot of business owners will tend to go self-focused. But the problem with that is that you'll find a whole bunch of followers and people that follow you because they think your kids are cute or because they like your dog. They're not necessarily people who are ready to do business with you. So this is certainly something that you will want to watch as you start posting on social media, is that you want to do a nice mix of both of those in order for you to, yes, show up and be visible and be likable, but also that authority-based content is very critical in being able to generate high quality clients on social media. Now, the other, and I touched on this just briefly, is that your content isn't attracting buyers. You end up attracting people who aren't a right fit for you. Maybe they can't afford you. Maybe they don't have the problem that you're going to solve. Maybe they're just people who like your cat, as I mentioned. So certainly your content needs to be focused in on that right fit client and to be able to attract those individuals on social media. So we have an answer for this, and it's not another niching course. It's not, it's not very difficult. In fact, it's a strategy that I teach, and it is highly effective, called the One True Client method. So essentially, because social media, there's so many people on social media, and even my 8-year-old son wants to run a YouTube or a YouTube channel, right? So you have so much noise on social media that when you niche down and you really focus in on your ideal client, then you are really able to reach those people. And know this, that there are cookie cutter versions of those right fit clients out there on social media. There's not a lack of those individuals. And if you show up on social media talking to their problems and talking to this person, well, then you'll be able to attract cookie cutter versions of this individual over and over again on social media. And it's the one thing that keeps people from attracting those right fit clients on social media, is they end up really being too broad. And so I introduced to you the answer to this. Who are you talking to on social media? I recommend that you pick your one true client. Now, I call this your one true client for a couple of reasons, because you probably have demographics of people that you serve. You probably have done a lot of demographic exercises, but this one true client is different. This is a person who is literally in your experience, that you have worked with and had results with. And this can't be like two different people that you have Frankenstein version together. And it certainly cannot be yourself. But this is one true client in your experience. You only have to pick one. And this is a strategy that we use over and over and over and over. Like, we continually always go back to the strategy because it is so effective. But all you need to do is, with that one true client, is put their name on a Post-it note. And then every time you go to post social media content, you say to yourself, how would this person respond to what I'm about to post? Would she wonder why I'm posting it? Would she care? Would this resonate with them? And it's a really important and valuable exercise for you to step into the shoes of your ideal client and ask yourself these questions. So that is truly the answer to generic content not attracting the right buyers, not being able to consistently find those right fit individuals online, is because you don't have clarity every time you go and turn on the video camera. But if you put your one true client on a Post-it note and refer to them every time you post a social media post, you will start finding that you can find cookie cutter versions of your one true client, because ultimately it gives you clarity around who you are talking to, clarity around their problems. And not only that, the added benefit is, when you go to social media and you're talking to one person, like I'm just talking to you right now, you guys are not all in the same room, but when I'm talking to you like this, that is how it is being received on the other side of social media. And so when you show up, and I say put it on a post-it note for one main reason, is because if you don't continually refer to this person, what would Barbara think of this? Would this appeal to Barbara? Would this resonate with Barbara? You will always end up in the trap of being way too broad with your social media. And so this will allow you so many things when you just employ the One True Client method and literally put it on a post-it note, because you will forget. Now, let me show you what this looks like with some real content from a real client about what being broad looks like versus what being specific can really, like the real shift in that content to really make my point here. So this is a client of ours. Before he came to us, he was posting good content. Like, this is good looking content. It's very aspirational. It's very good. Okay. Big changes start with small steps. What's your next move towards the life you want? Allow yourself to fail, embrace, and learn from it. Keep in mind that when this client came to us, his ideal avatar, the people that he was really trying to serve online, and what he does is he helps 7 and 8 figure CEOs really get the life that they are after. Now, when he's posting content like this, you have to step into the shoes of a 7 and 8 figure CEO and ask yourself, well, are they going to be saying to themselves, allow yourself to fail, embrace it, and learn from it? I mean, maybe, or right, maybe, but not so much. Like, they don't have a lot of doubt, and they're not failing every day. They're not really resonating with this sort of content. So when he first came to us, okay, because none of this was really converting for our client on social media, what we did was we identified his One True Client very specifically. He has a name, he's a real person. Every time we post on social media, we check in with him and say, what would Richard think of this post? Would he resonate with it? Then we crafted a message that mirrored what that person was thinking, and we built weekly video content using a framework I'm going to share with you a little bit later, and we started tracking the right things. And this is what his content now looks like, and it's a big shift from what he was doing before. So now, if I'm in the shoes of a 7 and 8 figure CEO, I am escaping the success illusion because they're successful. They see themselves successful. Okay. The trap of firefighting. These are the problems that they're solving versus being an aspirational rah, rah, rah account. Instead, now our client speaks to their problem. Okay. We also, of course, recommend, you'll see a post here. He's on some of the biggest stages out there. So making sure that you're telling people your authority, why they should listen to you. And that is what for this client, these 7 and 8 figure CEOs actually cared about. And so this is certainly, this changed for him. This changed what was happening for him on social media. Now that we've covered, okay, who you're going to be posting to on social media, that's really your One True Client, always keeping that person in mind. The second biggest question that I get asked, hey everybody, that I get asked about social media is, what the heck do I even post? And the model here, I call it the VEMS model. You can see it outlined here, is really what is going to separate you from being a business owner and being an influencer. So you're always going to be pulled to influencer. You're always going to be pulled to create and post for those vanity metrics. But then again, people won't understand what you do or the authority you bring. So I introduced to you the VEMS model. This is really how you're going to build trust online and make sure that people know what you do and you have those right fit clients reaching out to you on social media. So you want to be posting 4 things on social media. This is what separates you from an influencer. This is what makes you a business owner on social media. So I have a lot of examples here that we're going to go through. I wouldn't leave you hanging without some examples today. So VEMS is vibe, experience, methodology, and skills. And so for every piece of content that you put out on social media, you should be building trust in one or more of these 4 areas. Because when you think about it, People don't book with you or reach out to you because you posted a random tip or a motivational quote. The reason why they're working with you is because they're saying to themselves, I totally get you. I have been where you've been. How were you thinking what I was thinking? And it's the VEMS model that will allow you to get your perfect client on social media be saying that to themselves. So let's go through some hardcore examples here from some real life clients. So let's start with Vibe. This is a client of ours. When this rolls up on social media, obviously there is a very clear vibe here. Her personality really shines through on this picture, and vibe is really your energy, your essence, the feeling that people get when they scroll past your face or they see your video. Certainly not all people are created the same. Like me, I'm no nonsense. I'm a truth teller. I tell you like it is on social media. I'm not here to kind of like sell you hopes and dreams. I'm just here to share with you what actually works on social media. And so like that is my style. That comes across in all of my posts, and it really should come across in yours too, because people don't decide if they're going to work with you because they're logically thinking it. I'm sure most of you know this, but they decide with their gut. How does this person make me feel? Do I trust this person? Will they get me? Why, like, what's my general feeling about this person? And this can come across in the pictures you post, the background in the videos that you have, how you come across on video. I always like to say, your mom said don't judge a book by its cover, but certainly people on social media definitely do. So vibe is why someone would even stop scrolling in the first place, and you want to make sure that's coming across loud and clear in your content. Now, in terms of experience, this is about showing your experience and not just telling that you've done this before, that you have experience. Know this, that if your prospects can see themselves in your content, in your client stories, in the stories that you tell about the work that you do, they will buy from you. And so it's in your best interest to share your experience online. And it's more than, hey, everybody, I've done this for 10 years. Instead, you're saying stuff like, hey, here's what I've seen in my last 20 years on social media. Here's what works. Here's what doesn't. And here's what I'd do if it were you. And so some of the things that you're sharing in experiences, client stories, things that maybe you're seeing happening in your industry. People love lessons learned. This is my experience. Look at my war wounds that I have so that you don't have to have them. And certainly behind the scenes posts. So document what you're doing. If you just got off of a client call, you don't have to say that client's name, but you can say, I just got off a call with a client who XYZ, and we solved this problem. The more you tell people about what you do, your experience, the more likely they will that your authority will be built and the trust will be there on social media. Now, and a lot of people get stuck. I'll get into that in a second, but let's talk about methodology. So there is one thing to people like liking you. And hey, Lindsay, I like you. I really want to do work with you because I like you as a person. And that is certainly something, but a stronger way and a more powerful way of selling is through methodology. This is that you have a structured approach to what you do. People don't want to just feel inspired. They actually want to know that you have a system, that you've helped people, that you have a 1, 2, 3, 4 system that you can guide them through. And this certainly allows you to be a more effective salesperson on social media. And so name your methodology. When you name your methodology, and you'll see my client here who helps very successful independent insurance agencies grow, that he has an agency acquisition strategy. He talks in his video about what that strategy is. It is named. He talks about it consistently, and that really starts conveying that, hey, I have a repeatable system. I've done this many times and it works. And so when you're showcasing your methodology consistently, people assume that you have a process, that you're not just guessing when they come to work with you. So show them the system, share with them the system so that they can get a real understanding that you have a track record essentially. So that's methodology. So we have vibe, we have experience, we have methodology, and let's talk about skills. And this is where a lot of people end up posting on social media. They'll post a ton of tips on social media. One of my favorite examples is a personal training client of mine. When he came to me, he had 50,000 Instagram followers, but nobody was buying his high ticket. He's a personal trainer for entrepreneurs. So high level entrepreneurs that do not have time to go to the gym, that want something custom for them that they can get in and out in 30 minutes. But when he's on social media, he is posting the workout of the day. Hey, here's my bicep curl and here's this. And so you can see a real mismatch there. Yes, he is a personal trainer. Yes, he knows how to do an accurate bicep curl with the right form. But if you step into his one true client who are these entrepreneurs who don't have time and really just want a workout that works in the most minimal amount of time, they're not sitting around watching bicep curls. And so when we flipped his social media content and started actually talking to their problems, which wasn't how is my perfect form on a bicep curl, but instead it was, how do you do a workout in 30 minutes a day? What is the most important thing? What else matters? Not only just working out, but what matters so you can show up as your high achieving person in your business and your life. And that includes eating and sleeping and those sort of things, which really started to appeal to that client. So certainly we want to be posting skills, but those look like micro case studies, client results, certainly tactical how-to content, but you always want to be reaching back and saying to yourself, what will my one true client think of this? Is this applicable to them? Do they care? And when you have that touch point with your ideal client, it adds a lot of clarity to what you're doing on social media. So we're going to go over it one more time. One true client is who you're posting to. What you're posting on social media that sets you apart are your VEMs: vibe, experience, methodology, and skills. Now, over the last 20 years, nice to see you guys too. Over the last 20 years, we have found that people really end up tracking the wrong things on social media. And certainly this can be a really big problem, because if you're chasing vanity metrics, then you'll be posting cat memes or the latest UFO video over and over again, because certainly on social media, those sorts of things end up getting a lot of views. And so a lot of people end up asking, how many views did I get? They end up asking themselves, why didn't this post go viral? I really want some virality here. And do I need to actually do a dance on TikTok? Now, I'm not ever going to tell you that you have to do a dance on TikTok, because quite frankly, none of that actually matters if you're not tracking what turns content into clients. So if you've been measuring your social media success based on likes or follows, your content is going to feel like a huge waste of time, because visibility without trust actually doesn't convert. And so instead, what we track when you work with us are metrics that matter. So first of all, how many profile views did I get? This is a metric that we track. We have a tracking system that we always go and check. And what profile views will tell you is that people watched your content and now they're actually looking for more information. They actually care about you. They're not just on social media for that next dopamine hit, but they actually care about learning how to work with you or how to take those next steps. So profile views, ideal for tracking social media. Number 2, how many people messaged or replied? Conversations equals clients. And so the more conversations you have, the more clients you will get. So certainly some of the most important metrics that you can track on social media is how many people messaged or replied to this social media post or this week on social media. And then finally, and this is of course the most important, is how many sales conversations were actually started, because these are the things that matter on social media. If we're chasing followers, it's easy enough to do that. But if nobody is viewing your profile, if nobody is messaging you, and if you're not starting any sales conversations, then you're not going to be able to get clients from social media. So you want to turn your focus to the content that actually creates those three metrics. So it's not like those are really the things that you're going to be wanting to focus on social media, because it shows you how to actually start getting clients from social when you're focused on the right things. Now, there's a couple of myths that I want to share when it comes to posting on social media. We're here to bust some myths. And these are the most popular things that we see when we start working with people and what they believe, and how we want to break those, because you want to be breaking those beliefs so you can show up to social media and actually be posting effectively for your business. So myth one is, if people aren't commenting, it's not working. And we know that how that feels, right? Like we want the virality, we want the popularity contest, but again, that will keep you chasing the wrong thing. Where the truth is, and I hear this day in and day out from my clients, your highest value clients often never comment. They will say, I just got 3 clients this week, and all 3 of them said, I've been watching your social media. And my clients, my personal clients, will say, I never even knew they followed me. And so you have to remember this when you go in to post on social media, is that those right fit clients often watch silently and DM when they're ready. And you'll feel like, well, my content's not landing, or maybe I said that wrong, or maybe this isn't resonating. But it is really important to know, especially as a business owner, that much of that content, that the people who aren't going to work with you are the ones who comments, and the ones who do work with you often don't leave a lot of comments. The second thing that we consistently see in the agency is social media isn't working if I'm not going viral. So again, chasing virality is certainly something, but viral content does not equal valuable content. And instead, I already said that. Instead, plenty of business owners get thousands of views and millions of views, but 0 leads. And that's because they're creating this wide content, this broad content. But instead, if you want to generate leads on social media, you really want to go deep on that content and speak to that right audience, speak to your ideal client, and say things very specifically that will make that ideal client feel very seen and heard, so that you can build that trust on social media. So, long story short, in order for social media to work, you don't need hundreds and thousands of views, especially as a service-based business owners. What you need is the right people to see your content. Now, the third thing that we see in the agency is, and we see this a lot, and I don't blame people for this, because social media is always, yapping at you like, I gotta post on social, I gotta do this, people are getting leads, I've got to find more leads on social media. And so you end up really on social throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping that something sticks. When in reality, and this is one of the biggest mistakes business owners make, is that posting without a strategy, it just creates a lot of noise. It creates noise for your audience. They are left wondering, well, what does she do for a living? Like, who is she? And that's what posting without a strategy will get you. So you really, yes, you want to be visible, and you want to be visible with the right people. But if you have no intention there or no strategy there, you're going to find it very difficult to attract the right people and be able to nurture them so that they actually trust you. And so we run into that. If any of that makes sense, if any of you thought any of those, please say yes in the comments. I'd like to know if this is resonating with everybody. So ultimately, what the biggest obstacle for people on social media is that they aren't consistent. And you know, content is king, but consistency is queen, and consistency wins all day long. And people really struggle with consistency because the dog gets sick, or you make the best intentions, or you never really have a strategy, and so you're always guessing and hoping and praying that the content is going to work. And so you end up doing a couple of things. Number one, when you don't post without a strategy and when you don't plan out your content, you end up doing stop and start posting. And this hurts you in a couple ways. It hurts you with your audience because they're not consistently seeing you. It's like the Geico commercial. The first time you see the Geico commercial, you're like, I don't want a lizard doing my insurance. But after you see that guy a couple times, you start thinking, maybe I will. And so it's a marketing. You're doing good marketing, and good marketing is repetition and consistently showing up on people's feeds. And so stop and start posting is going to kill any social media success that you're having. So you've got to find a way to be consistent on social media. This one is quite popular, and I know a lot of you, like, you're thought leaders and you like to write and you put a lot of thought and emotion into your post. And so a lot of times you'll post a piece of content and think, this is the one that's going to finally go viral, but it doesn't. And so you end up giving up because it just takes the wind out of your sails. But instead of viewing social media as it's this one post that's finally going to bring it home for me, you want to view it more holistically. It's not just one post, it's 50 posts, because people saw 3 posts before and then they saw this one before they actually took action, and taking a more holistic approach to your social media. And the third problem under consistency that we often see is that people will treat their content like it's a one-time launch strategy instead of a relationship. So they end up going out to social media every time they need sales. And so they'll go out to social media, I need sales, I need sales, I need sales, and then they'll ghost social media. And then they'll try again because they really want to get more sales. And so they'll be really good, just like working out at the gym. Okay, it's like why gyms are full in January and empty in March is because you get real excited about it and then you give up. And you certainly don't want to be doing that on social media, especially if you're dedicated to having this be your lead source, the way that you can actually generate high quality leads, which it certainly is. But consistency is so critical. And you have to ask yourself, you can't do it every day. You do need to have it planned out. And so how are you going to do that? How are you going to plan it out every day? Make sure that it is already scheduled so that you can actually focus on the work that you want. So I wish I had better news here, but certainly you do need to make sure that you have a way of consistently posting social media. And if your strategy is, I'm just posting when I feel like it, that is certainly not going to, that's why your social media isn't really working. Because this is really how content works. Is it compounds upon itself, just like every good marketing strategy. Is you're visible in front of the right people, they see a couple of posts from you, and then that builds trust every time they see you in your feed, even if they don't watch your video all the way through, even if they didn't like or comment or post. It builds trust every time you're visible in front of your ideal client. And once you have that trust with people, then you get clients. And this comes because you're being consistent on social media, and that content actually ends up compounding that trust and those clients, so it builds. And so when we work with people, there is a little bit of a runway in order to start seeing that compounding effect, just like when you're investing in money. But certainly it will end up paying off as you're consistent, as you're posting that content. Let me show you a couple of my clients here, okay? Based on everything that I've shared with you today, that one true client, the VEMS model, understanding those right metrics to post, and ultimately understanding that consistency is key for social media. So here's Rocky. He says, since we started working together 40 days ago, I've done over 100K in business. I have 15K in recurring monthly revenue. You and your team have had the answers that I have never had. Rocky, as I mentioned, is a leadership coach and consultant. We dialed in his one true client. We reshaped his message to really focus on his one true client. And we built him a social media strategy that actually attracted those right fit clients. Another example, Matt, he's a real estate consultant. He says, you and your team gave me the system to earn a month's worth of revenue in a day on repeat. That is because we dialed into his one true client. He helps real estate professionals, but not all real estate professionals are created the same. His client was a real estate professional who is already successful. They're not new real estate professionals. He doesn't particularly serve those individuals. He's helping people who are further along in the journey, and the messaging there is completely different, even though you would think, oh, they're both just real estate professionals. And so when you approach social media this way, really understanding your one true client every time, guys, put that on a post-it note. You'll forget, okay? Literally, mine is on a post-it note. And you're posting your VEMS, your vibe, experience, methodology, and skills, and tracking those right things instead of those viral moments, instead of those, I just want more and more eyeballs on this. I don't really care if it's applicable to my business or builds my authority or lets my perfect client know that I understand their problems. When you approach social media this way, everything changes. You get clients like Rocky and Matt. You start attracting cookie cutter versions of your ideal client, and you're actually able to get a return on your investment of all of the time and stress and money that you put into social media, so it can really start paying off for you and your business. So we're at summer here, and I want to, does everybody here like a gift? Who here likes a gift? For everybody here in this room, I would really like to offer a gift. Say yes in the comments if you like gifts. And what I want to offer you right now is, if you're sick of guessing about social media, if you're like, I keep trying, it's not really working, I need something that works. If you want to stop waiting for the algorithm to finally, the algorithm gods to finally bless you, then I want to offer everybody here, because you have come to this masterclass, because it is my true pleasure to help you with social media and to outline a strategy with you. I want to offer everybody here a lead attraction strategy session with me. Now, this just isn't we're not just going to get on the phone and just chat. Okay, this is a very structured session. In fact, I noticed a couple people here who have already had a session with me. Please go ahead and comment about the clarity that comes from booking a strategy session with me. If you go to lindsaya.com/attract, Emily will also be posting a link here in the chat. But for the right person, we can get on the phone and we're going to outline a couple of things on the strategy session. If you're sitting there thinking, Lindsay, I want those results that Rocky had. I want those results that Matt had. I don't want to be in the same place in 30 days from now that I am today. Then I really recommend you hop on a lead attraction strategy session. We're going to talk about how to build more of your authority online. We're going to talk about how to start more qualified conversations. And we're going to talk about how to take the content off your plate without actually losing your voice. And this lead attraction strategy session it's 3 parts, this call. And again, Emily, go ahead and drop that link. Once those calendar appointments are gone, they are gone. So certainly take the time. It only takes a few minutes to fill out that application to get on a strategy call with me. And we're going to go over a couple things. Number 1, we're going to cover what's your current reality here, okay? Where is your business right now on social media? What do you sell? Who is your ideal client? What is currently working in your sales pipeline? And where does your content fit into that right now? When we talk about that, and I have a series of structured questions that I ask you that really helps me understand where you're already winning, because most people are sitting on a gold mine already. They just don't see it. And what we can actually use to make social media actually start attracting those right fit clients for you. The second part of the call is your content sales disconnect. We walk through what kind of content you're currently sharing, what kind of traction it's already getting, and whether or not it's attracting those right fit buyers. And in this part of the call, there's a couple of things that I usually see, and I can unpack it for you if you get on a call with me, is you're typically posting generic messaging that doesn't convert. You have no clear buyer journey. You have no way of converting those individuals who are on social and actually getting them on a call. And you lack consistency and tracking those metrics that matter. So we're going to talk about that when you get on a lead attraction strategy session with me. And the final thing that we offer on this call between me and you is a visibility plan. So you're going to leave this call with crystal clear clarity around what kind of content you should focus on, where you need to be showing up on social media, what you need to stop doing that's not driving sales, and how to structure content to build trust before the sales call. So you get on those sales calls and people are already saying yes because they saw your content. So get on a lead attraction session. Get on a lead attraction strategy session with me, and we'll get you crystal clear clarity about what's broken, what you can fix, and what to focus on next. All you need to do is head over to lindsayaa.com/attract. Now, for those individuals that get the clarity here, we will also, and if it's aligned with you on this call, we'll talk about how my team and I can help you implement everything we just discussed in this masterclass. We'll handle the strategy for you, the messaging for you, the video for you, the weekly publishing for you. We can take it all off of your plate. And we have a really amazing system on how we do this with clients. It takes an hour a month from you. We interview you for an hour a month. And from that hour-long interview, we create 30 days of high visibility lead attraction content without you having to stress and worry and throw spaghetti at the wall and stress over social media. It's really designed to help you with consistency and get the content off your plate and help you turn get sales conversations from those DMs. Now, we have programs for those that are wondering what would something like that, what would the investment be? We have programs that start as low as $997 a month, depending on what you need. But of course, this strategy call, this session with me is for